The Raiders have officially turned into a full-blown circus. I woke up this morning thinking maybe, just maybe, things wouldn't be as bad after that 40-6 loss to the Colts. But as soon as I started digging into the game, it became painfully obvious. There's chaos at Allegiant Stadium, and it's not going away anytime soon. This team, from top to bottom, is a walking disaster, and it's almost impressive how quickly everything has spiraled out of control. You look at the head coach, Pete Carroll, and it's like he's completely out of touch with his own roster. The quarterback, Geno Smith, is wandering around like he's lost, making mistakes that are mind-boggling for someone supposed to lead this team. Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator, seems stuck in a college football mindset, and Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator, can't make an adjustment to save his life. This is not a team that looks ready to compete at the highest level. This is a circus. And honestly, if you plan on going to the next game against the Tennessee Titans and actually paying for a ticket, you might be crazier than anyone in Raider Nation right now. Let's start with the obvious issue, Geno Smith. 5 games into the season, and it's painfully clear that patience has worn thin. You can't ignore the numbers anymore. Leading the league with 9 interceptions, a 74.1 quarterback impact rating, 24th out of 37 quarterbacks, negative 0.07 drop back to EPA, 30th in the league. It's historically bad. Geno Smith isn't just struggling. He's historically struggling. And the problem isn't just physical execution. It's mental. He's not seeing the field. He's making poor decisions. He's second-guessing the offense every time the ball is snapped. And when you put him next to Chip Kelly, the duo is toxic. There is no chemistry, no trust, no rhythm. The play calling is unnecessarily complicated. Drives that should establish rhythm are tortured sequences that end with a field goal because the ground game is abandoned too soon. Red zone struggles continue, and it's the same mistakes over and over. Watching the tape, it's clear the Raiders aren't learning, they aren't adjusting, and they aren't solving anything. Every week, the same chaos is delivered, repackaged as hope. It's insanity. And while Geno Smith is the face of the struggle, let's not pretend it's only him. The offensive line has been inconsistent, injuries have piled up, and yet the coaching staff seems incapable of adapting. Chip Kelly's game plans have been nothing short of atrocious. There's no balance, no flexibility, and no recognition of what is actually working. If Ashton Gentry is grinding down the defense with a run game, the response shouldn't be to abandon it mid-drive. Yet, that's exactly what happens. You look at the decisions, the lack of adjustments, the stubborn adherence to schemes that clearly aren't working, and you realize just how deep this dysfunction runs. And when you combine this with a head coach who seems more focused on optics than accountability, the result is a team that has no identity. It's not just the offense either. Defense is similarly adrift. Soft zones that fail repeatedly, missed assignments, a linebacking core that can't cover, and a free safety out of position. The special teams? A mess. Missed kicks, blocked punts, nearly returned kicks for touchdowns. It's consistent chaos. And through it all, leadership is absent. Max Crosby may be a leader in name, but when the quarterback is failing, the offensive line is underperforming, and mistakes are happening across the board, someone has to step up and challenge the team. Right now, there is no challenge, only indulgence. Pete Carroll is handing out cupcakes and ice cream cones, letting guys skate because they're his guys, and the rest of the roster is left to flounder. Now, when it comes to Geno Smith versus the alternatives, the argument is straightforward. It's time to start Kenny Pickett. He may not be a guaranteed solution, and yes, he struggled in the NFL before, but right now, you have nothing to lose. Geno Smith's numbers are historically bad. This is a quarterback who is on pace to throw 31 interceptions this season. The first time in over 20 years we've seen numbers like that. The only way forward is competition. If you truly believe in a compete-for-your-job mentality, it's time to have a conversation with Kenny Pickett. It's time to let the roster see that no one spot is safe. Right now, the Raiders are playing favorites, and the team is paying the price for it. And this isn't just about making a change for the sake of change. This is about sending a message to the entire organization. A healthy, competitive environment is built on accountability, not comfort. Bench Geno Smith, start a competition at quarterback, and make it clear that if you want to be part of this team, you have to earn it. This is what true leadership looks like, and it's what Raider Nation desperately needs right now. Because make no mistake, if the circus continues, it's not just the fans who are suffering. The players are lost, the coaches are spinning, and the culture is collapsing. The time for polite hope is over. The Raiders need action, and they need it yesterday. And let's not forget the broader context. This team doesn't have an identity. They are thin at nearly every position. The defense is underperforming, the offense is chaotic, and the coaching staff's inability to adapt is staggering. They had opportunities in free agency, in the draft, to build something sustainable, but they've failed to capitalize. The result is a team that looks lost on every single snap. Watching them now, it's hard to argue they have a realistic path to the playoffs. And yet, despite all of this, there's still some signs to pay attention to. The younger players, the ones who are showing flashes, the ones who may be the foundation for the next phase of this team. Those are the pieces that fans need to watch, even if the current season is effectively over. So here we are, a team in chaos, a quarterback historically struggling, a coaching staff resistant to change, and a season that feels like it's already slipping away. It's frustrating, it's exhausting, and it's maddening. But this is also the reality of being a Raiders fan right now. You have to endure the circus, keep your eyes open for the moments of promise, and hold the organization accountable for every single misstep. Because at the end of the day, if you let this slide, the same mistakes will continue week after week until the team becomes unrecognizable. And that, unfortunately, is the state of the Raiders today. Now, let's talk about what comes next, because right now, the Raiders are in desperate need of a shakeup. The first step has to be at quarterback. Geno Smith has proven he cannot be the answer. The numbers don't lie. 9 interceptions, historically low efficiency, and an inability to see the field or make adjustments on the fly. You can debate the coaching, the offensive line, the play calling, but at the end of the day, a quarterback has to process, execute, and lead. Geno Smith has done none of those consistently. The worst part is that it's not just physical mistakes, it's mental. The hesitation, the confusion, the second-guessing. Those are signs of a player completely overwhelmed. And when you pair him with Chip Kelly, whose offensive schemes seem designed more to confuse than to succeed, the results are catastrophic. They are a mismatch of frustration and incompetence, a combination that turns every game into a struggle. Enter Kenny Pickett. He is not a guaranteed solution, and he certainly isn't going to suddenly turn the Raiders into a winning team overnight. But what he brings is a chance, a spark, and most importantly, competition. This is the missing ingredient in Las Vegas right now: accountability. Everyone knows Geno Smith is the starter. Everyone knows the coaching staff favors him, and yet the performance has been historically bad. You cannot build a culture when the team sees that poor performance is rewarded with security. Starting Kenny Pickett isn't about giving up on Smith. It's about sending a message. It's about showing the team that you have to earn your spot, that no one is safe, and that the organization values competition and accountability over comfort and loyalty. This is a leadership issue, and right now, Raider Nation is watching the circus unfold, wondering if anyone inside that building is willing to stand up and enforce standards. The interesting part is that Pete Carroll's history suggests he can rebuild quarterback confidence. Look at Russell Wilson. Look at Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Carroll has a track record of taking quarterbacks and helping them thrive in the right environment. The question is whether he is willing to take that same approach here, or whether he's too wedded to his initial decisions. The reality is, Smith has shown no growth over 5 games. The coaching staff has shown no flexibility. At some point, hope has to be replaced by action. Kenny Pickett may not be perfect, but the alternative is continuing to watch Geno Smith flounder and the Raiders collapse week after week. The organization has invested in Pickett. It's time to see what that investment can do, and it's time to let the players see that effort and performance matter above everything else. Beyond the quarterback battle, the Raiders' issues are systemic. Special teams are failing, the defense is overmatched, and the offense is inconsistent and confused. Missed assignments, blown coverages, and poor communication have turned routine plays into disasters. You watch the game, and it's almost surreal how often the team makes the same mistakes, play after play, drive after drive. There's no adjustment, no mid-game correction, no sign that the staff is learning from past failures. It's as if every week is treated like a clean slate, and yet the same chaos unfolds. A team without identity is a team that cannot compete, and the Raiders are a perfect example. They are thin at nearly every position, they lack depth, and they are reliant on individual effort to mask systemic problems. The young players show potential, but they are not given consistent opportunities. The veterans are not performing, and the coaching staff is failing to put anyone in a position to succeed. Watching the film, the disconnect between scheme and personnel is striking. Chip Kelly's offense abandons the run game too soon, overcomplicates situations, and leaves the quarterback in impossible positions. The defense remains stubbornly rigid, even when the opponent's adjustments expose weaknesses. Red zone inefficiency has become a theme, and special teams blunders compound the problem. The result is a team that looks unprepared and confused, both mentally and physically. You begin to wonder if the coaches even understand their own players' strengths and limitations. There are moments when a player finally makes a positive play, and it's like a rare glimpse of hope, but it's fleeting because the following series undoes everything. The Raiders are a team stuck in a loop of repeated mistakes. And then there's the leadership vacuum. Max Crosby is capable of stepping up, but leadership is more than being a vocal presence. It's about holding teammates accountable, challenging mistakes, and setting the tone. Right now, no one is doing that consistently. Pete Carroll's approach has created an environment where favorites skate and the rest of the team is left floundering. If you want to build a competitive culture, you need standards, accountability, and consequences for poor performance. Without it, players have no incentive to push beyond mediocrity. And the result is exactly what we're seeing: a circus, a team with no identity, and a roster that looks lost on the field. The reality for the Raiders this season is grim. They lack identity, their talent is thin, the coaching staff is resistant to change, and their quarterback situation is historically bad. Yet there are still reasons to watch, reasons to study, and reasons to be engaged. The young players, the flashes of skill, and the moments of leadership that do emerge are the foundation for what could come next season. Fans must pay attention, not because this team is winning, but because the lessons in failure are just as important as the lessons in success. Watching the Raiders now is a test of endurance and loyalty, but it's also an opportunity to see which players, coaches, and systems are capable of growth under pressure. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most shocking moves of the NFL offseason, whispers have begun to swirl around Allegiant Stadium that the Las Vegas Raiders have pulled off a seismic acquisition: defensive powerhouse Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. The rumor, which is yet to be officially confirmed, has already sent shockwaves through the league, with fans and analysts alike scrambling to process the implications. Sources close to team insiders suggest that the Raiders, long criticized for defensive inconsistency, may have finally decided to go all in. Jones, a perennial Pro Bowler and one of the most feared interior linemen in the game, would instantly transform the Raiders' defensive front, giving them a legitimate edge in a division that has often been dominated by explosive offenses. The chatter hints at a deal that could involve multiple draft picks, signaling Las Vegas' willingness to mortgage part of its future for immediate impact. The buzz around this potential move has fueled intense debate on social media. Raiders supporters are ecstatic, painting vivid scenarios where Jones wreaks havoc on quarterbacks across the AFC West. Meanwhile, Chiefs fans are left reeling at the thought of losing a cornerstone of their vaunted defensive line. Analysts speculate that the move could alter the balance of power in the division, perhaps even redefining playoff projections for both teams. While official confirmation remains elusive, the rumor has not been quelled, with multiple insiders hinting that an announcement could come at any moment. If true, this would mark a rare and bold raid on a direct rival, reminiscent of blockbuster moves that have historically reshaped franchises overnight. The NFL community is now on high alert, waiting to see if this tantalizing whisper becomes reality, or if it's just another piece of off-season smoke meant to stir excitement. One thing is certain. If Chris Jones really lands in Las Vegas, the Raiders' defense would go from overlooked to downright terrifying, and the Chiefs might be left scrambling for answers. Stay tuned, because if this rumor holds water, the AFC West and the NFL at large may never be the same again. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.